What's up, guys? It's your Super Players, and I got the National Champ again with another OP deck profile. This man is hyping this one. He's saying this is the way of Dragon Ball Super card game next set. And Brian, tell me why you're going to be playing Gotenks, man.
I mean, honestly, I love Gotenks, man. I just think the deck is very strong. It's very well rounded. And I think one thing I think everybody has learned from this past meta is that decks that awaken at high life have kind of been the standard for the format. You know, such as Gotenks, Vegito, and so forth. Decks that awaken at high life. And this guy does it all. I mean, they can control the hand. It controls the field. Has a pretty good hand size. It's overall very strong. So that's why I'm running Gotenks. Plus, I just love Gotenks, man. Gotenks is sick.
Hopefully, you got that Gotenks playmat, dude.
Right? I need to get one ASAP.
And all right, so let's run the deck through. And obviously, we already know what he does when he's unawakened. He draws a card when he attacks, and then when he awakens, your opponent can attack your battle cards. Your opponent's leader can attack battle cards, and then pay 1 green, and you get to play either the ghost tokens and remove a marker. Do you ever see yourself using that effect?
Oh yeah. That you abuse that effect. So typically, I mean, in a perfect world, you want to see a Goten and a Unison in your opening hand. That's kind of what you want to see. Do you need to see a Goten? No, you don't. I mean, but the Unison is definitely what you need to get this deck running, though. But the effect, though, to be able to choose a marker. So this deck is actually kind of like a Unison killer deck. This deck just kills Unison. And as we know, the format is based on a lot of decks that are, that they need a Unison to make them go. Such as Zeno, things of that nature. So being able to just kill markers at will or anything like that is huge. But I mean, putting in the tokens early, usually like on turn 2, you put in play tokens. That applies a lot of pressure because there's not a lot of decks that can deal with it.
Ghost tokens are insane.
Unfortunately, they made it to where they come and play in rest mode. But I mean, if not, I think they'd be a little too strong. But yeah, so I feel it's pretty balanced. But yeah, it's definitely an effect to use at least once, maybe twice a game.
All right, so let's go into the SS3 Vegito Peerless Warrior. Why do you run 4 of these guys?
All right, so I mean, this guy is definitely the Unison that's the heart and soul of the deck. It's it's a +2 Unison, which is huge, just like Zeno. It's going to go up to 4 on turn 2 when you play it. Once per turn, when you activate a Union skill, which you're going to be doing the entire game, you draw a card. So you're just drawing a ton of cards throughout the game. The +2 effect makes all of your mono green battle cards get revenge until the start of your next turn. So you do play some blockers in here, so that actually plays a pretty big role. The -7 effect is actually usually one of your game enders. I mean, you look at your opponent's life. You get to look at the life. You crit one.
That's pretty
and
nuts.
Then your opponent drops 3 cards from the hand.
Yeah,
that's pretty nasty, man.
That's insane.
So,
that's
crazy. Believe it or not, you're going to be getting to 7 almost every game, depending on the matchup. But you're probably going to be getting there almost every game.
And why Golden Frieza Unison of Malice? Why that one?
So I mean, you were just discussing this a little bit ago. How we were running the Bardock in the build originally. Yeah. So I mean, when I first started, I was running just the 4 Unison, just the 4 I think it's the SS3 Vegito.
Vegito?
Yeah, the Vegito. Yeah, I was originally just running that, but then I found that like 8 out of 10 times I would see it, but the 2 games that I didn't see Unison on turn 2, it kind of struggled. So I upped it to 6. Golden Frieza, I feel, is just, I mean, you're kind of controlling your opponent's hand in general with this deck. So being able to just swing for crit on turn 2, awaken, and do whatever you want to do, I think is just a lot better than having the Bardock, because your 1-drops in the deck you really don't want to sacrifice. Goku you don't want to get rid of. Your blockers you don't want to get rid of. So yeah, that's why I'm choosing this guy.
Cool. And speaking of Goku, the next card is Goku, the Legendary Fusion Warrior. We all know this is the heart and soul, pretty much, for you.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the package, right? Yeah. I mean, we run a 4-4-4 package, but so the Goku is huge because it's essentially a +2. So you comes out, you search for any Gotenks in the whole deck. So you're either gonna get the Reaper or you're gonna get the other Gotenks, the Unison killer. So you're going to get one of those 2, and then on turn 2, after you awaken, since you're untapping an energy, you're most likely going to use Goku's effect. You're going to send it to the drop, and now you're going to get both pieces to your hand, which is huge. That means turn 3, you're just going to start dropping, your Union bombs, and that's pretty much a wrap.
All right.
So he's huge. Definitely mandatory for.
No, yeah, that guy's amazing. And then we'll move on to the next 3 extra cards. Is going to be Cell's Earth-Shattering Kamehameha, or Destroying Kamehameha, Shocking Death Ball, and Dormant Potential. Why do we have 2, 2, 3?
I know, weird ratios, right? So Cells has just kind of been there because, like I said, all my green profiles I've already pretty much said. It's just a very, very strong card. Goes with the theme. It is a mono green deck, so I mean you don't have to worry about charging and off color. You're gonna drop the card 15k plus, and it's amazing. Shocking Death Ball just happens to be one of the best 3 negates in the game.
Yep.
You can, especially with a lot of people spamming a lot of little wings now, whether it be AOD or AOD or Vigex, whatever it may be.
Yep.
So it's a good defensive card. And Dormant Potential is
just the best.
Probably just broken. Yeah,
it's the best. It's the green Nimbus even better, I feel. But
yeah, I mean, and you're always gonna have a Unison out in this deck. So I mean, you're gonna be able to play it for free every turn. So I mean, just recycle it with Roshi or something.
And then we have Sun. So I'm gonna talk about the 2 blockers. So you have Sun Gohan Potential unlocked. Obviously you have 3, and then you got 2 Zarbon Cosmic Elite. Why those 2 blockers?
Oh man, well, as I was saying earlier, your Unison being able to give all your mono green cards on the field revenge means that your Zarbon Cosmic Elite now has that broken effect along with revenge. So you're discarding cards from your opponent's hand. You get to keep spamming it every turn if you want to, and then if they attack with battle cards, they're just dying. So there's that one, and then again on turn 2, you're gonna be playing the Unison, so your Gohan Potential locks can come out for free. You get to activate your Unison effect, give him revenge as well. So he's a blocker revenge on turn 2, so you don't really have to worry about getting aggroed out.
That's insane. That is pretty crazy. And then we have this is where I thought I was like, is Brian a fan of Great Saiyaman? And so I wanted to ask, why are you playing Defending Father Paragus and then another the Great Saiyaman, the 2/2 split? Why those?
Honestly, it's you can run it any way you want to. Again, I just found sometimes that maybe I needed to put pieces back in the deck. Yeah. Or I didn't want to deck out or whatever it may be. The deck does draw. The deck does draw and cycle through the deck a lot. So there have been some instances when I've gone against decks that go late and I just don't want to deck out. So that card kind of helps me. Or when I just want to put something back in the deck. But again, it's all up to you, your preference. You can run for Saiyaman, or you can run 4 Paragus, whatever. Or if you want to run Nappa or Android 18, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And this deck's very versatile that way.
Cool. And obviously, no explanation, Master Roshi's still one of the best cards, and then Ribrianne, the Punishing Passion, is still one of the best cards in the drop area. If they're in there, you're gonna abuse those effects, I'm guessing, right?
Absolutely. So I mean, your opponent already has to waste a lot of resource anyway, because you're swinging with a lot of 25k dual attacks. So when you're swinging, your opponent's hands, dwindling, you're just dropping cards, rebrand. I wish I could up my Roshi count to at least 2 in the main, but it's just really hard to fit everything.
Gotcha.
The package is kind of wide, so.
All right, and then we're gonna get into the Goten and Trunks package. So I want to talk about the Trunks brimming with talent. Why do you only run 1? I'm just curious.
So I mean, I run 1 brimming with talent just because after the first 1 or 2 times you search with the Bonds of Friendship Trunks, you're not really going to have any Unison left in the deck, so it's pretty much dead.
Gotcha.
At least with the Trunks brimming with talent, you can have 1, so if you have it, you can whenever you drop it to the drop area, if you need to get it back for some reason later in the game, you can always just pay a green and add it to your hand. Ooh. So that actually, believe it or not, does come in clutch sometimes. So that's why I'm testing out 1. It's been working well so far. So
gotcha. All right, and then I'm gonna move on to the Sun Goten and Trunks Faultless Youth, and then Trunks Bonds of Friendship. Why 4/3?
The Trunks Bonds of Friendship. Kind of like I was just saying, that's one of the most broken targets you have for Trunks, because when you discard it for a Union, you get to search the top 7 cards of your deck to add a green Unison with 2 among it to your hand. Yeah. So you're just getting a lot of value. You're not losing anything.
That's insane. Yeah, that card just the effect of Union in doing that secondary effect. You're always plussing. It looks like this deck, you're always plussing no matter what you do, from how consistent you built it. And then we have Bardock Fully Unleashed, and then I'm gonna talk about the other Overwhelm targets, the Secret Identity Mass Hand. 1 and 1. Why those 2?
So The Bardock Fully Unleashed is probably my tech card of choice for this upcoming set.
Gotcha.
I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of decks that bring out big boss cards, or like have you seen the new Gogeta deck? Like, unfortunately, Gotenks,
yeah,
Gotenks only, all of its cards only KO. So the new Gogeta, it can't be KO'd. So I mean, you need to have cards to be able to warp it. Yeah, so like that gets rid of that. I mean, the main reason for Fully Unleashed is it actually just destroys the new Dark Broly matchup. Because they're all 6-drop 30Ks. So like, you can clear the board, you can warp them all. Warp their blockers, if they're playing the Mira.
Yeah.
A lot of builds play that Mira, the 6-drop that's out there, and it's kind of like warps battle cards. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. So you just want to be able to clear the board for free, essentially. And yeah, it just has a lot of good matchups. The Secret Identity Mask Saiyan, I feel, is pretty much a staple in almost everybody's deck now. Yep. Especially because a lot of people are playing Obunis, and a lot of people are playing cards to spam the board. Maybe skillless, whatever it may be. It's just a very versatile card, and it's really good.
And then I'm gonna talk about the Gotenks now. The Gotenks Grim Reaper of Justice is just a phenomenal card, but why 2 SS3 Gotenks All Out Assault? Why that one? Why do you only run 2 of those guys?
The All Out Assault, unfortunately, unlike its unlike the Reaper, when this one dies, you don't get anything back. So it's not as strong, but the fact that it can kill any battle card ignoring barrier, and also removes 2 markers from a Unison, that's huge. So
gotcha. And
you don't allow their like Zeno Unison to sit out there, man. Like once this card comes out, it's killing the Zeno Unison, it's killing a battle card with barrier. Whether or if you're playing against Invoker or something like that, it's big because you can kill the Vegeta.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it gets through barriers. So I mean, and they can't stop it because it has deflect. Of course, all the Gotenks have deflect, which is ridiculous.
Invoker's gonna cry.
Exactly, and I mean, and my favorite card to date now is the Reaper of Justice. So I mean, besides it having a sick ass name, it has a broken effect. It's just broken. I mean, for 2, you're bringing out a 25k deflect dual attack battle card that draws the 2 cards. Most likely, you're gonna get a Unison off of the Trunks, and then you're probably gonna draw for your Union. So you're going to be plussing all those cards, and then if they somehow kill it, you're just going to get your pieces back, and you're most likely going to bring out another one. So it's like it almost never dies. There's not many cards in the game that ignore. There's not many cards in the game that like negate an ability and then KO. Like the 7-drop yellow Gotenks is one of them. But there aren't really many cards in the game that do that. So it's very strong. You're almost always going to get value off of it.
And then we run 4 charismatic villain Frieza. That was just a great counterplay card. And then your secret rare of choice is going to be Cell Xeno Unspeakable Abomination, because I'm guessing all those cards are amazingly good because they're all 6-drops from what I'm looking at.
Exactly. They're all 6-drops, man. So I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer. I had a lot of people running this deck, and they were playing like the monkey, like the grade 8.
Dude, I was that person. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about Cell Xeno. I forgot about that. Yeah, I totally forgot about that card when you told me. I'm like, you're right.
I'm like, I can literally bring out Cell Xeno at will in this deck. Like, you can bring it out whenever you like, pretty much want. I mean, I've brought it out on people on turn 3, and I've just beaten them.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I'm like, you have two dual attackers, and then you just go for.
Yeah, like if you see weakness, you know what I mean, and you go for it. I mean, they can't stop it. Then I mean, you can just essentially end them early, So I mean, the card is broken. I mean, a lot of times you'll find yourself using your Unison effect to drop 3 cards from their hand, crit a life, and then you'll bring out Cell. So you're dropping 6 cards from their hand in one sweep. And assuming you don't have any Rebrands either, you could potentially drop even more than that. Yeah. So like, it's nasty, man. Cell, as everybody knows, Cell is probably the best SCR in the game.
Definitely
probably the best.
Everybody wants to ban it, but we're probably not going to see him get banned. But let's go into the sideboard real quick, and that's another conversation. But we're going to have Vegeta Resolute, Agent of Destruction, Protector of the People, Unexpected Turn. Why those 3? Like, I just want to talk about those 3 right away.
The Vegeta's good. Again, it's good against decks that go wide. If it's a deck that swarms, that I just need to clear the board, it's good. But not only that, I've actually, like, when I've sideboarded, I've actually done this to people before, where I've used my neg 7 effect.
Mm-hmm.
I've dropped 3 cards from their hand, and then I've brought out Vegeta, and I've dropped 3 more cards from their hand.
Dang.
So like, I've done a lot of dirty things with this card sometimes. So I mean, it's just a little sideboard card again that I'm testing. Unexpected turn. Again, I guess you can kind of see most of my sideboard is just preventing decks from going wide on you early.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, unexpected turn, protector of the people against this hyper aggro matchups.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then Mecha Kabura, the Broken Seal. You run 2 of these guys. I haven't seen a lot of people play that. Why do you play 2 of those?
I've pretty much sideboarded in every deck that I ran as of late. I just feel like if you know how to use it correctly, like against certain decks, there's a lot of decks that are very linear. Like, you know what they're gonna do, right? Like, you know what they're gonna want to do to you this next
Victor,
turn. You know, yeah, we know what the whole point of their deck is. You know what I mean? Like there's certain decks, like, you remember back in the day when, like, Piccolo Surge, like, you knew the only way they beat you was bringing out Cell, right?
Yep.
Like, Cell is the only way they're gonna beat you on turn 5. So like, if I was playing this back then, I would just call this, the Cell Secret Rare or whatever, and I'd just pretty much be like, all right, I know that you can't beat me now. So like, there's a lot of decks where that actually comes in handy. So if you know what you're playing against, and it's a very strong card, I feel. So that's why I'm sideboarding that.
And then I see you put everything else that you pretty much did not play 2 of or your 4 of, which is the Dormant Potential at 1, and then Master Roshi, Bardock Fully Unleashed, and then Secret Identity Mass Saiyan. Yes. Yeah, so I guess it just adds the value that you didn't have in the deck before, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, of course. It's just all those cards pretty much, it's just depending on the matchup. Like, if I'm playing against the Dark Broly matchup or whatever, I'll put in another Bardock. If I'm playing aggro, put in Dormant, and so forth. The three Goku apes are against hand destruction. Again, it's not necessary in the side deck. I know a lot of people don't have them. I can tell you right now, I don't even have any in person as of right now. So like, they're not necessary, but at the same time, if you do play against a deck that's running a lot of hand destruction, or maybe play against the mirror, whatever it may be, it's definitely a good sideboard put in there.
Cool. And there you guys have it. This is the Champ's Gotenks deck that I think he's going to be playing for a cool minute. That's what he told me in private.
Yes, sir.
So this is his take on it. Like I said, this guy is phenomenal. This guy's a strong leader. Thank you again, Brian, for taking the time to obviously break down this meta-defying deck. I feel anytime you make a crazy deck, it's just meta-defying to me. And and any last-minute shout-outs you want to do, Brian?
No, not really, man. Just shout out to super players, my guys, always helping me out, and and that's pretty much it, man.
Oh, and also everyone, Brian is expecting a little Saiyan, so hit up in the comment section, tell him congrats. Huge congratulations, man. Thank you for letting me know as well. And man, thank you. And thank you for taking the time, and congratulations again for that boy to come soon. Hopefully he's a little champ like you. And there you guys have it from the champ himself and your super players. Y'all stay super.